Nathan, 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 NathanIvey.com. Mr. Ivy know the show must go on. And for Cincinnati, man, I put on. Tunes made another flame beat for me to cook on. Raised dogs, close fish, yeah, too strong. Team AI, chop it up at the chop shop. Top notch with the king flow, the hot shot. Cop squats in, listen to the real. Jumping like hopscotch, nobody harder than, oh, no, think not. Not only citywide, but nationwide. Superlatives, keep it locked like them Haitian guys. Put the truth in the airwaves, we talk about it. Brand new like the templates, let's be about it. Who got the info about it? Hey yo, John will be the rapper, got them jamming when they play him. Staying in my lane, they ain't gotta okay him. Who the host with the scoop? Yeah, they gon' say him. Ivy, so superlative like a bag of Grippos. Show you where the Brits at, Cincinnati Reds at. One time where my people at. Team NI where my people at. It's the 5-1-3, yeah, you know the flow. What's the word, Nate? Let them know the show. One time where my people at. Team NI where my people at.
Outside. I don't care what anybody says. I love the snow. I love the weather. It is quite beautiful in the greater Cincinnati area. I like dusting of snow this morning. I hope you're doing well. On today's show, among other things, I want to talk about Kyle Rittenhouse and the incredible privilege that we see in our culture. I mean, how do you kill someone, right? And now you become a celebrity. I mean, look at this dude right here. This is like a screenshot from an interview that he did on a show on a network called Blaze TV. Now, Blaze TV was started by Glenn Beck. He left Fox News, and I think he started it before he left Fox News. But when he left Fox News, he went to his own network called Blaze TV, and they're just kind of like Fox News, basically. They're all conservatives. They do talk shows and podcasts and live streams like that. And some of the biggest names in conservatism and conservative media, they do shows with them. And he was on a show, and look at him sitting there like he's on a Tonight Show or something. Like, what is there to talk about? And all of the tears have wiped up. The tears are gone. What happened to the tears? So he's in his interview, right? And he's talking about LeBron James. And he's like, you know what? I used to be a fan of LeBron James until I saw what LeBron James said about me. And then he said, F you, LeBron James. Conservative media loves to hate on LeBron James for whatever reason. We probably know why. They love to hate on LeBron James. So he says, F LeBron James. He was on this show called You Are Here. It's called You Are Here. Not that you want to look it up, or maybe you do want to look it up. And the views from this particular segment with Kyle Rittenhouse on their YouTube channel has gotten over 400,000 views. So in some sectors, right? Well, in some spaces in our culture, some people looking at Kyle Rittenhouse like he's some type of celebrity. He's a hero. And it goes back to our conversation we had yesterday about fragility. Some of our fellow Americans are very fragile. They are afraid. And so Kyle Rittenhouse on the surface stood up for himself. He stood up for himself. And that could be me. That could have been me, right? The way black people, like a lot of black people, I believe, and I don't think I'm too far out on a limb when I say this, but a lot of black folks, when they see like a officer involved shooting, they think that could have been me. And I'm wondering if our non-melanated brothers and sisters, our fellow Americans, I wonder if when they look at some of them anyway, because, you know, you can't speak for everybody, but I wonder if some of them, when they look at Kyle Rittenhouse, they think to themselves, that could have been me. They could have came after me. Why so serious? Why are they so afraid? So Kyle Rittenhouse, he's a big time, he's a somebody now. He's a good get. He's a good get for certain shows. Now, I wonder if he'll ever do any like left-leaning shows or talk to black media. Probably not. I don't think he's prepared for that. You got people offering him jobs. He can work in Congress. He can do his own show, get a podcast. The Kyle Rittenhouse podcast. Yeah, it's coming soon. And all you have to do is kill a couple people. That's it. That's it. It's like the more that some people argued that Kyle Rittenhouse should go to jail, the more supporters he got. Yeah, all knew everything. All knew everything. The kid from Kenosha, even though he's not from Kenosha. Interesting. But what do you think? 513-873-7134. This piggybacks off our conversation yesterday. Plus, I've got some local news. So yesterday it was reported, and I talked with you and told you that Mayor-elect Avtab Pureval was going to announce the members of city council that are going to have committee chairs. This is important because everything happens in committee. The chair sets the agenda. Seems like they may have some power. So the climate, environment, and infrastructure chair is Mika Owens. Equitable growth and housing chair is Reggie Harris. Healthy neighborhoods chair is Jan Michelle Lemon Kearney, who's also the vice mayor. Public safety and governance is Scotty Johnson. And budget and finance, doom, doom, doom. Where the money go at? Where the money reside? Where the money reside? The money resides in budget and finance, and the chair of budget and finance is going to be Greg Landsman. So think about that. And if you're a black voter or you're sensitive to these kind of things, think about it. You got 5 chairs, you have 5 committees, 4 of them are chaired by black folks. Mika Owens, Reggie Harris, Jan Michelle Lemon Kearney, and Scotty Johnson. What does that mean for the Cincinnati area? That sounds interesting. Very interesting. I'm going to reach out to Scotty J to see if he might be interested in coming on and give us his vision for what he wants to do with public safety and governance. I have, it'll be interesting. So you've got Smitherman going out. You got Scotty J coming in, 2 black men. Will they both have the same approach? Who will be more effective? Scotty Johnson is a former Cincinnati police officer. I think that makes sense. Public safety and governance, chaired by a former black police officer. What do you think? Man, it's amazing how things change so quickly. I'm going to miss those members of city council, man. I'm going to miss Smitherman. I'm going to miss all these individuals that have given us so much to talk about over the years. Damn. It's over. Who are we going to blame now when things go wrong? So again, budget and finance, Greg Landsman. Public safety and governance, Scotty Johnson. Healthy neighborhoods, Jan Michelle Lemon Kearney. Equitable growth and housing, Reggie Harris. Climate, environment, and infrastructure, Mika Owens. It's interesting that the incoming mayor chose 4 African Americans or black folks. There were others. You got 3 of them are completely new to city council. That's Scotty Johnson, Reggie Harris, and Mika Owens. They've never been on council before. So you're going to get some fresh faces. You're going to get some fresh faces. And, you know, it's put up or shut up. Put up or shut up for the Democrat Party. We shall see. Again, I remain very optimistic. Very optimistic. So here it is. Those are the 5 committees in their chairs. So we'll see what that means. 513-873-7134. This is the Nathan Ivey Show, Cincinnati's first daily digital talk show that focuses on black people, black politics, and black pleasure. People, politics, and pleasure. You already know my wheelhouse. Good morning to you. Clarence writes, I read in an article that Christopher Smitherman, the chair of public safety, has awarded the University of Cincinnati Police Department with authority to do traffic stops and parole off campus. Is that right? I don't remember. Ebony writes, let's see where this goes, looking from my side eye. Ebony remains unconvinced. She writes, I'm not going to miss those clowns. TNT writes, real leadership in law and public safety. Well, we'll have to do an analysis, right, on the job that Christopher Smitherman did, because he's announced on his Twitter account that, and people already know this, that he's running for Hamilton County Commissioner. I believe he turned in over 5,000 signatures, which I think is like 10 times the amount that he needed. So we shall see. We shall see. Stephanie Summerall Dumas is going to announce whether she's going to run for re-election, I think in January, I believe it is. That doesn't sound good, because she needs to know 100%. You got a challenger on your hands, sis. Get ready. Get ready. Clarence writes, they gave him $600,000 to make rounds on conservative talk show stations. It's like a reward. They gave him $600,000, huh? It is like a reward. They want to help him out. Want to help him out. Make sure that you are okay. You know what I'm saying? Black Lives Matter and them damn Democrats, they tried to take you out the game. And all you were doing was defending yourself, even though he illegally had a weapon, even though he had no business being there, even though he instigated it and then turned around and claimed self-defense. If you missed it, check out Straight Talk Live, because Ken Lawson was Edna's guest. And he kind of talked about this case and kind of broke it down. It was very interesting. F you, LeBron James. Leave LeBron James the hell alone. God damn, can that man do anything? Yeah, what did LeBron James say? Basically, remember when Cal Rittenhouse had the crybaby face? Remember that? Remember the crybaby face? Oh, look at those tears. Oh, the tears. I might be going to jail. Even though I deserve it. But I might be going to jail. Oh, Lordy, Lordy, right? So LeBron James tweeted like, look at these crocodile tears, basically. He was like, man, if you don't get out of here with these fake tears, it must have hurt. Because in the interview, he said, among other things, that, he used to really like LeBron James. Because we all love it when nigga is bouncing them balls. We love it. Negro is the best ball bouncer we've ever seen. Nobody can bounce a ball like you, right? But as soon as he opens his mouth, it's like, shut up and dribble. He bounces a ball better than anybody we've ever seen it. He can shoot that ball. He's dribbling that ball like crazy. I could do this all day. They so mad LeBron's parents aren't brother and sister, LOL. Daryl writes, Kyle Rittenhouse is a straight up punk. He may be. He may be, but it's bigger than Kyle Rittenhouse. I mean, just look at the way he's being embraced. And they claim the black community embraces lawlessness and killers and all kind of stuff. But look how they just openly embracing this man after he killed 2 people that never had to die. The last thing that people in Kenosha needs is a 17-year-old vigilante protecting property. Whose property? We don't know yet, just property. Protecting property. Property over people. We are living in the last days, my friends. I'll say it one more time. The last days of good damn common sense. It's over. It's all downhill after this. Straight. This is our trajectory as a culture. Down. But good to know we got people like this protecting the neighborhood. We got all these good folks protecting the neighborhood, like Kyle Rittenhouse and George Zimmerman. He was top flight security of the world, Craig. Just minding everybody else's business but my own. Where is George Zimmerman at right now? That was some straight cowardice right there. But emblematic, I think, of how some people are viewing themselves in our culture right now. It's quite sad. Quite honestly, it's very sad. Oh boy. Damn shame. I want to know where Greg will be recommending the money goes. Where the money resides, I can reach out to Greg Lansman and see if he's willing to come on so we can figure out where the money resides, because that's what it's all about. Jerome writes, hello, Nate and the Choppers. Good morning to you.
Get to the
To the damn choppers. Will you get to the choppers, please? So much to cover this morning. Thank you for being here. 513-873-7134 if you like to share your thoughts. The snow is over with, but it's kind of slick outside. I didn't have any ice on, any of my steps or anything like that when I went out to clean up the car this morning. But just be careful. Be careful. You might want to get up a little bit earlier, by 15 minutes or so. Get out there, boom, 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 hit the car, and that's it. It was pretty easy. The worst is when it's super cold outside. You got thick ice on the windows. Oh, that shit is the worst. It's just the worst. Period. It's just the worst. But I love the snow. I love the snow. It's beautiful outside. Yeah. It's that Christmas season. Make sure that all your Santa Claus images are melanated. We don't believe in white Santa. We only believe in black Santa. If we're going to play this Santa Claus game, because which I've told you before, there is no damn Santa. And you should tell your kids the truth immediately. But if we're going to play this little Santa Claus game, he should be melanated. I'm just saying. Get the appropriate Santa. How many people are going to let their kids go to the mall and sit on Santa's lap? Is Santa vaccinated? That's very important. Santa, let me see your vaccination card. Let me see it. Let me see it. Let me see it. This is fake. Why is Santa trolling around with a fake vaccination card? Somebody should tell me. Before we get too deep into the show, a word from today's sponsor, our friends over at Renew Community Church. They're back at it again. They do a live stream series that you could tap into on Sundays on Facebook. Every Sunday at 11:45 a.m. If you're on Facebook, you should go to Cincy Renew, CINCI Renew. If you're on YouTube, Renew Community Church live stream. This week's topic, positive thinking and affirmations don't work unless. Learn what really works to make you happy and joyful and have fun in 2022. I don't know. It's just something about 2022. I just think 2022 is going to be a little bit better. All right. But tap in. Positive thinking affirmations don't work unless. Learn what really works to make you happy and joyful and have fun in 2022. That's coming up on Sunday. Tap into that, friends. Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. Exactly, Nate. My kids never believed in fake Nick. They knew it was us. It's amazing how sensitive people are about these kind of situations. I remember people trying to get in fights with me, like, I'll whoop your A if you tell my kids the truth about Santa Claus. I'm like, why are you holding on to these toxic narratives? Tell them the truth. Damn it, I'm buying this. Make them respect you. Make your kids respect you even more. Let them know. I's working for all of this. I'm providing all of this, you ungrateful bastard. Is there anything more ungrateful than a human child? No. No, there isn't. Oh, my gosh. I'm reading that the COVID-19 cases in Cincinnati area hospitals require, quote unquote, all hands on deck. Yeah, it's real out here. But then I'm also reading that the Omicron variant may not be as contagious. Or should I say it's more contagious but less dangerous than Delta? That's what the scientists are saying. The Doogie Housers on this are saying that Omicron appears to be even easier to transmit or to get. But if you get it, it's less dangerous. Like you're less likely to have severe reactions than Delta. If that's the case, we don't give a damn about Omicron. We ain't scared of Omicron. You Omicron. If that is the case, Omicron. Sick of this ish, man. Let's get back to normal. Well, let's not actually. Let's build back better. I'm looking at heat maps, COVID-19 cases per 100,000 population in the last 14 days. Over the weekend, I read a brand new study that was put out by some really smart people, allegedly, in which they broke down new information about the transmission of COVID. You want to know what they found out? In a nutshell, what they found out is that a mask, if two people are having a conversation without mask on, the rate of transmission is somewhere between 5 and like 8 minutes, meaning that if you sit within 3 feet of somebody and have a conversation for 5 to 8 minutes, then the transmission rate is it goes higher. Okay, we'll put it that way. But if you wear a mask of any type, even if it's not one of those fancy N94 masks, which is so goddamn hard to get your hands on, then any mask, any barrier, if around this part right here, if that's put on nice and firm, that it offers you some level of protection. That's what the latest from the smart people, that's what they say. Do you want to take an early call? Okay. We down? Is that a yes? Okay, let's take an early call. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Prepare to be triggered. Woo, woo. Here come the choke. Here come the coon train. Get out your chips. What up, Nate?
So get out your chips, huh?
What up, Nate?
What up, brother? Welcome.
I got your ass yesterday, didn't I?
Did you? In what way?
You know, Mr. Ivey, you've been in the radio business damn near all your adult life. And
Yeah.
you know, the only card that a caller has on the host is to hang up on his ass. And I got you yesterday. Did you see the look on your face? Oh, yeah, you know I know the radio game, Mr. Ivey.
Oh, okay.
I had your ass shook.
I thought that I mistakenly had disconnected you, but you hung up. Okay, that's right. You did hang up. That's right. I forgot.
You know it. And I just said the truth, didn't I?
That's your right, man. I mean, if you want to hang up, go
No,
right
no,
ahead.
but I'm
It's
saying
your phone call.
I'm talking about from a radio caller perspective, because you have all the power.
Well,
you control
from my
the button.
perspective, brother, I forgot, to be honest with you. I didn't even remember
whatever,
until you
Nate.
just said that. So
You're not going to admit it. I know you're not going to admit it.
There's nothing to admit. I mean, when it happened, I was shocked because I thought I hung up on you, but then I realized I didn't. I was like, oh, I thought you was in your feelings. But you know, the show goes on, man. I didn't think anything about it.
I know it does.
Again.
I know it does, and you always clear everything up with the choppers, and I always tell the choppers, because most people in the chop shop, they've been listening to me for, it'll be 5 years in April, Mr. Ivey, since I've been listening to your show.
Wow.
So a lot of people know how I roll when I call your show. It's not an act. Everything that I say is legit. It's real. It's off the top. I hardly ever read anything, but I know how to play the radio talk show game, Mr. Ivey. And yesterday, you were acting like a petulant, whining little talk show host. That's why I had to hang up on you.
Petulant.
Yes,
so that's why you hung up. I triggered you. I triggered you. Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Ivey. You're going to talk over your caller? You're supposed to treat me like a guest.
I didn't talk over you. I was talking and you tried to talk over me.
Listen, Mr. Ivey, if I want to make a comparison, shout out to all the lady choppers, but when Maze calls your show, you don't say a damn word. And you know, boy, Mr. Ivey, I could tell you a poker player, because you put that poker face on when Maze calls, because you know good and damn well some of the shit she says, you need to call John from Florida to interpret. Because Maze, Maze, where you at, girl? Get ready. Get your dialing finger ready. Because without Drop Squad, what would you do, Maze? Because you wouldn't be able to talk about a subject because half the words out of your mouth cannot be understood, girlfriend. So I'll be waiting for Maze. I'll be waiting for Glenn. I'll be waiting for Brian. I'll be waiting for Daryl. Because without Drop Squad 52, y'all wouldn't have shit to say. So, Mr. Ivey,
do you
if
want
you will
an
allow
apology
me,
or something? I mean, what's the point of all
Mr.
this?
Ivey, you know, I don't look for apologies. I look for praise.
For praise.
I look for
okay.
yes.
Wow.
Yes. Because you know what they say, Mr. Ivey. Never let perfect be the enemy of good. But for me, it's in reverse. Never let good be the enemy of perfection. Because I don't accept mediocrity from my elected officials. I expect perfection. And speaking of that,
expect no
and speaking of Christmas,
you didn't expect perfection from Trump at all.
See, there you go again. Why are you talking about a man that is no longer in the White House?
Because
when I talk about
when he was
your
in the White
party,
House,
who is in the White House,
when he was in the White House, drop. Let me answer your question since you asked me, right?
Oh my God!
You asked me a question.
Okay,
let me answer it. Because when Trump was in the White House, you swallowed your whistle, right? Your little referee whistle. When you was holding elected officials accountable.
I did not.
Yes, you did. You didn't say a mumbling word. You didn't say no words at all.
Mr. Ivey,
to critique Donald Trump
the whole
time he was in office. That's what happened. That's why I bring it up. Because it's not consistent.
I didn't say what you wanted me to say. When Trump was in office, all I talked about were the positive things that his policies were bringing. I didn't talk about no dumbass tweets. I didn't talk about when he called Joe Biden and other politicians nicknames like Joe and lying about. No,
Can I tell you one thing you didn't do that you do all the time now?
Oh, here we go.
It's going to contradict
Here we go.
You
trying to tell a 60-year-old man.
Are you open to be corrected?
You trying to change the mind of a 60-year-old man. Really, sir?
Okay. Is a 60-year-old man open to be critiqued just slightly by his little bro? You open for that?
That ain't what you said yesterday.
I haven't got to my point yet. Are you open for? I want to preface it before you because I could tell this is sensitive for you. Are you open for that this morning, brother?
I'm listening.
Okay, great. So once again, the contradictions, because what you do with Joe Biden is, and I like it, I'm here for it, but every week you looking at poll numbers, how low they are. You never did that with Trump. You never came in and talked about how Trump polls numbers were so low. Never, not one time. So that's what I'm saying, bro. There's a lack of consistency. And that's why I bring up Trump, just to show to you how now you got whole new energy when Joe Biden's in office. That's all.
Okay, well, first of all, I don't want to go digging in the crates of the Nathan Ivey Show, but it hasn't reached that point yet because there were days when I called your show and touted President Trump's poll numbers because the narrative from the mainstream media, the willing accomplices of the desperate Democrats, the narrative was all Trump had was 30% base. That's it. 30% crazy, white, Republicans, racist. That's all he got. And then when his numbers started to change, when his immigration policies were starting to work, when the economy had turned and unemployment was the lowest for African Americans and Hispanics and Asians in history, then y'all didn't want to hear me talk about his poll. So again, Mr. Ivey, this is your show, sir, but I am a guest, and I appreciate you allowing me to come on here and hold my president accountable. And speaking of Santa Claus, Mr. Ivey, the desperate Democrat Party, also known as the Party of Santa Claus, that's all Joe Biden been doing for the last 10 months is talk about, I'm going to give you this, I'm going to give you that. Don't you realize what I gave you? I got to go across the country to tell everybody, I gave you this. Don't you know I gave you this money? Santa Claus, jingle bells, the Democrats are coming through.
The difference is Trump did the same thing. The only difference between what Trump did in terms of giving people stuff and what Biden did is that Trump was focused exclusively on wealthy people, cutting taxes.
No, okay,
tax
what about
breaks,
the stimulus check, Mr. Ivey? What about the COVID checks that Trump sent out? Huh? Hello?
I'm sorry, I missed you. What you said, brother? What you say again?
What about the checks that Donald Trump sent out?
Absolutely.
During the COVID, Mr. Ivey?
He did. COVID relief. You're right.
Okay. What about the 2017 tax law that added the child tax credit that Joe Biden and the Democrats are using right now?
I have the fact.
All that child tax credit that he's running around talking about, is from the 2017 tax code, Mr. Ivey. Joe Biden ain't changed no tax laws.
I have to fact check that.
Fact check it. Fact check it. Fact check it, sir. But anyway, Joe Biden, the Democrats, the Santa Claus Party, he's out on the road today, Mr. Ivey. And he might not have a Santa Claus hat on and a white beard, but he's going to be talking about what I gave y'all, what the money that I sent y'all. Don't you know I sent y'all money? They do it all the time. Oh, if the American people only knew how good we made it for them. They just don't know. Maybe it's our messaging. Maybe it's because the media ain't helping us get the word out to tell people how good we done made it for them. Oh, we feeling so good because the Democrats just keep giving us all this good stuff. Now, Mr. Ivey, I know I done triggered about 4, 5, 50 black folks out there in the audience, but my intentions is not of malice. It is compassion, Mr. Ivey. And while I roll away on my coon train, woo, woo, you get on free if you got your chips, and if you don't, I'll give them to you for free. Drop Squad 52, also known as the Black, Not Democrat. Dropping science to anyone who wants to catch it. Peace.
Thank you for the call, sir. Appreciate you. Let me move on. Doug Evans is leaving prison after serving 6 months of a 21-month sentence for his minority contracting fraud. He was returned to what appears to be maybe like a halfway house situation back on December the 2nd. Remember Doug Evans? He had a black dude who basically was acting like he was running a company, and he was basically stealing, money basically, because he was fronting like he was minority owned using this black dude, but he really wasn't. He served 6 months of his 21-month sentence for minority contracting fraud. Like, I don't know if is that typical for federal time? I don't know. But as soon as I heard about her, I thought, You see, he was released. What was he released here? Served 6 months of a 21-month sentence for minority contracting fraud. Yeah, I bet he really, and then he can go right back to his job. So you spent 6 months for that. That's it. Okay. Mr. Evans' projected release date from custody is November 29, 2022 via good conduct time release. And he'll be free from what appears to be a re-entry sort of management program that he's confined in now. But the first thing I thought about was, what about Tamir Denard? As of August, the Bureau of Prisons has transferred more than 30,000 eligible inmates to home confinement in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. So under the CARES Act, the U.S. Attorney General has emergency authority, meaning that they can have people leave the federal prisons and go home because it might spread COVID. Again, I thought, what does this mean for Tamir Denard? Is she going to be eligible for this? We shall see. I think Doug Evans went to jail a few months before she did. Is she going to do 6 months? Will she do more time? I mean, there's two different cases there, but we're still dealing with federal charges, so it'll be interesting to see. Doug Evans, that's right. And his company should never be able to work with the city on some levels ever again. Like, how do you basically swindle the city and then get caught? The owner goes to jail, then he comes out, and y'all can go right back to business again? That doesn't make what? That makes no sense. How is that possible? How is that possible? Very, very, very sad. Somebody's asking about a case coming from Tucson where an officer fired after fatally shooting a man in a motorized wheelchair. The man was accused of shoplifting and pulling a knife when confronted outside of a Walmart. I am aware of that case, and I can't even imagine what the excuse is going to be. The man is confined to a wheelchair, meaning that either he cannot walk or he doesn't walk too good. Well, all you got to do is just back up then. You know what I'm saying? If somebody's confined to a wheelchair with a knife and they're dangerous, but in a wheelchair, all we got to do is just back up. But I'll dig more into that show as the show goes deeper. Who said that? Who asked that question? Maurice did. Maurice asked that question. Yeah, I am hip to that story, Maurice. Ebony writes, yep, complexion for the protection. I mean, let me get back to this. I mean, I don't think that this is being made to be a bigger deal than it is. Like, for instance, and again, I'm ignorant on this because city council may have already moved on this, but it's like, I wish that city council had the same energy in protecting situations like this from ever happening again as they fake act like they did about some type of reforms when it came to corruption for city council members. We had 2-3 bills. But what's been done to shut the door on these kind of things from happening? I do know there were some suggestions that were thrown around city council. And one of them, and I think this came from Tamaya Denard when she was still on council, I believe, I could be wrong about that, was that if you get accused of basically swindling the city of minority contracting fraud, then you can never do business with the city with any contracts ever again. You've lost your ability to do that. We can't trust you. How can we ever trust you? Doug Evans, as I understand, Doug Evans, that his company is still doing business. 5 former and current Evans landscaping employees were also convicted. As a result, the judge told him personally to pay $50,000 and his company has to pay $500,000, half of which will be set aside as community service payments to help minority businesses. Well, I think that's fair. But what I would say is, however much money he made, let's say he got like a $2-3 million contract, he should have to pay $2 or $3 million back. Now, you know, it's funny, and I got to make this opinion, I don't know what right-wing radio has been talking about, but I wonder, have they been talking about Doug Evans? Because they talked about the sister who owned Mahogany's, the black sister, remember her? Who's doing great right now, by the way. Look at how things go. That sister's went on to bigger and better things. And Doug Evans is in a reentry program right here. But all I'm trying to say is, I just remember that they tried to assail that sister's character and her entrepreneurial muster, right? They tried to make it seem like she was a bad businesswoman, right? And she hadn't committed no law. She hadn't broke no laws whatsoever. Meanwhile, Doug Evans committed a whole fraud. Had a black dude fronting like he was a CEO and everything so he could steal money from the city. And yeah, it's being reported on, but I just wonder how much is it being talked about? Because they love to talk about Mahogany's. They love Mahogany's. They got that money legally. She got that money from the city. She didn't deserve it. I don't like her chicken wings. Her macaroni is not as good as my grandmama's. Right? Yeah, Christopher Smitherman, he was like a superhero for this, man. He just wouldn't let the shit go. He kept talking about it and talking about it and talking about it. He wouldn't let it go. But nobody's talking about this case. He had a well-to-do man. He's doing well. Everybody eating. But it was just greed. Straight up greed. Straight up greed. But it is what it is. Good morning to you. 513-873-7134. Sarah writes, conservative radio didn't focus on it. I bet they didn't. I bet they didn't talk about that. But they love to talk about Mahogany's. And she committed no crimes. There was no crimes committed whatsoever. Nothing nefarious. It was a business deal. It was a business deal. Simple as that. But Doug Evans, nah. Yeah, he got caught. He was wrong. No reason to talk about it. But again, what's been done by city council? Does anybody know what's been done by city council to address this situation with Doug Evans to make sure that it either can't happen again, or if it does happen again, where you have another majority-owned company that's fronting like a minority-owned company so they can steal money from minority-owned companies? That's all you're doing. That there's something in place that will make sure that they get severely punished. But we'll find out. Glenn Rice Smitherman hasn't mentioned Doug Evans either. Not surprised. Not surprised. Glenn Rice Right Wing Radio hasn't mentioned the story once. Of course not, because it's the kind of story that, quite frankly, they don't really focus on those kind of stories. They don't want to talk about that. They much rather talk about how judges are giving out too much bail to make it the bail so low. And then the criminals are getting out before they go to trial, before they're convicted. They're just alleged to have committed a crime, and they're committing more crimes. Ooh, that's the issue here in Cincinnati, right? Damn it. My work has just begun. My work has just begun. But I wonder if we'll hear something about Tamaya Denard in the next few months. I hope so. 2022 is going to be interesting, man, because in terms of this local stuff, you got a brand new council, but we got to deal with old stuff. You got the trials of PG Sittenfield and also Jeff Pastor. Will they go to trial? Will there be a plea deal right before we get to trial? We don't know, but everybody's going to be watching. Everybody's going to be watching because we all want to know. We want to know what's going to happen. Who did what? This new city council can make sure the city doesn't do business with Doug Evans and have good standing. Let's see who is in this city will come to the defense of Evans Landscaping. Sarah writes, I think AFTAB will bring this into focus. His centermost theme is his administration is equity. That's what I love what I'm hearing. From the mayor-elect so far, I love what I'm hearing. You know what I'm saying? We shall see. Listen, things are turning around. Things are slowly turning around in the city. We need a better prosecutor. We got some county positions we still got to work with. And then we'll see how much courage the city council really has. You know what I'm saying? Because to be honest with you, if we really talk about equity, then we should see an attempt to deal with concentrated wealth. Like I said, everybody can focus on concentrated poverty. That's a real in thing to do. It's easy to do. It's fashionable. It's trendy. There's a vibe around dealing with poverty, right? Nobody's for poverty. I don't care who you are. Everybody's against poverty. Democrat, Republican, black, white, rich, poor, everyone is against poverty, right? So that's easy. But are you for, dealing with concentrated wealth? That's the harder sell, right? And then if you go back and look at some of the people that actually gave the campaigns, you're gonna see a lot of the wealthy people. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people gave money, but you're gonna see a lot of wealthy folks, man, giving the max. Would they go along with that? You're talking about costing them money. Would they go along with that? TNT writes, Avtag will be a great mayor. At this point right now, I would say he's definitely going to be better than John Cranley. That's for sure. I think so. And I don't think it's going to be hard. Somebody writes, they got put in Facebook jail this morning because you spoke out on racism. What did you say exactly? Tiffany writes, good morning. Didn't get my YouTube nor Facebook notification. You know, what I've learned about these notifications is that they're not a perfect science. Whatever the platform is, you're supposed to get notifications. Sometimes you do. Most times you probably do, and then sometimes you're not. It's kind of out of my hands. Fame is in the house. He writes, good morning, Choppers. Cal Rittenhouse is a creation of the Brian Taylor method of protesting. This kid's fin be worth $25 million. Thanks, Brian. Nobody understands that, Fame. We still don't understand. You talk about a leap. That is an incredible leap of logic. Cal Rittenhouse is not a creation of anybody other than the media that he was consuming and the environment that he grew up in. That's what he's going to be. That's what he is a creation of, and nothing more than that. Good morning to you. No, bro. No, bro. No, bro. Say it ain't so, bro. Oh, my gosh. One of those days. One of those days. Good morning to you. Fox writes, rise and shine, young stars. Good to see you. Don't smoke that strain no more. Drop. Angry weed. Clue writes, drop sounds like a fool as per usual. Ray writes, good risings all. People love drop. They love drop. Real leadership in law and public safety. I'll be interested in seeing what Scotty J does with that committee. And as a former police officer, how is that going to inform, because you got to understand that he's, this is not a diss on Smitherman at all, because it would be the same for me. But, you're going to have somebody in law and public safety that was actually out here in these streets on multiple levels, who actually understands the culture of the police department. He understands the issues within the police department, right? But he also understands the frustrations of citizens. So what does that mean? What's that going to look like? I'm excited on some levels. I must be honest with you. Ebony writes, and I'm reading it for the second time, I'm not going to miss those clowns. not even a little bit. Crystal writes, good morning, choppers. TNT writes, no position for the new guys, Jeff Cramdering. And what's the other guy's name? I don't know. Cramdering, and I can see his face. I just can't call his name. And yet he still got elected to city council, man. People took that Democrat ballot and said, click, check, check, check. And it's like, oh, man, it's too much work trying to figure out all these people. These Democrats say they good enough. Looks good to me. Click, 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 all the way down. Ebony writes, I wish Smitherman would run his way out of town. Chris Smitherman is one of the smartest men in Cincinnati. He is one of the smartest men in Ohio, right? He is a long-term thinker. We've seen him setting up this move for county for a long time. Why do you think he calls into Willie's show? Why do you think he attached himself to right-wing radio? Because they've got a big signal that goes all over the city and all over the county and really all over the region. So he's playing the better hand. You know what I'm saying? You leave Black Radio, where he did a show. He was on some bliggity black stuff, including singing the Negro anthem, the African-American anthem or Negro anthem. And now he is doing step and fetch it routines with Willie. Ebony, ivory, living in harmony, right? On the back of Willie's motorcycle. I heard that one day, many years ago. I'm like, huh? Because Willie knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. They playing each other. It is what it is. Daryl writes, call that man by his real name, Slitherman, because he's a snake. I don't know if I would call the man a snake. I don't know if I would say that. He's definitely told some lies on some people for sure. But I don't know if I would call him a snake. I just say he's a very smart, intelligent man. Very smart and intelligent. And he's going to have a lot of support for his run for county commissioner. Now, I personally don't want to see Smitherman on the county commission right now, because I feel like, and it ain't personal, it's not that I feel like he can't be effective. It has nothing to do with that. It's, if you had to point to one person that was causing most of the BS on city council, it was Christopher Smitherman. He was the number one person stirring the pot on city council. And it's like, if he replaces Stephanie Summerall Dumaros, think about this. He's not going to have power. You're still going to have two Democrats, Alicia Reese and Denise Driehaus. It's still going to be majority rules. It's still going to be those two Democrats that are going to be running things at the end of the day. So what role is Smitherman going to play? Is he going to play what I think he'll do is he'll bring his city council routine and just bring it to the county. That's what I think. He's going to bring the trombone. He's going to bring the clown suit. He's going to bring the flower that when you try to sniff it, it squirts water in your face. He's going to bring all of his tricks and all the nonsense. What else is he going to do? What about a rat, monkey, snake? There's a few rat, monkey, snakes here in the city of Cincinnati, man. Rat, monkey, snakes. They act like rat, monkey, snakes. And sometimes they look like rat, monkey, snakes, like a perfect blend of a rat, a monkey, and a snake. It's quite interesting. I came up with that many years. I was dealing with one of my former colleagues, and I was sitting there one day just looking at him like, this man looks like a perfect blend of a rat, a monkey, and a snake, and acts like it. Sarah writes, he dogged Liz. He did, but because Smitherman is the ebony to Cunningham's ivory. Yeah, I was listening to Bill Cunningham a few years ago, and literally Smitherman was on there. And Cunningham goes into this narrative. He's like, yeah, me and Smitherman, that's my guy. We should cruise across America. You could be on the back of my motorcycle, ebony and ivory. That's exactly what Cunningham said. And Smitherman, I think he was either on the phone or he was in the studio with him. I'm like, huh? No, Negro, we not doing none of that. And Smitherman just laughed it off. Deborah writes, Dumas works for the county, not just himself. Smitherman's all about himself and his cult of personality. I don't know. Again, this is just my personal opinion. I don't have to be right. It's based upon my personal interactions and things that I've seen. But what I will say is that Smitherman has a lot of support. He's got a lot of support. So we'll see. Yeah, TNT, that really, I swear on everything, on God, that really happened. I was listening to the radio and it was rare. I just happened to catch him. And I'm like, what? He's like, ebony and ivory. Cruising through him. You know how Willie can get sometime. That's what makes him so good at what he does. He's got the gift of gab. Let me see here. Where's the Arya Stark of Cincinnati? There is no Arya Stark. She's traveling the 7 seas. They so mad LeBron. Okay, I think I read that. Trust me, LeBron James is unbothered. You know he's unbothered because what he's really bothered about is about that damn Lakers team. Can't seem to get their act together. But enough of me, more of you. Let's go straight to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Nate. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. Sorry to leave you on for so long, brother. Thank you for being
here.
Oh,
no, you're cool. Actually got system issues this morning, so I'm fine. Okay. I got time today, as they say. I want to go back to the Smitherman argument because I always understood what you were saying as far as Stephanie Dumas is concerned and how she need to have her up her game because Smitherman is coming.
Yeah.
And, politically, I understand exactly what you're saying. But, Nate, I think he might have made a mistake. And the mistake that he's making, and I don't know how much you kept up on this, but, Jason Williams has had his share of articles, and I actually subscribe to Inquirer. I think it's like $3 a month or something like that. But anyway, so lately, Jason Williams has been talking about Smitherman and his bid to become a county commissioner. But he's talking about how Smitherman hasn't wholly accepted the Republican Party, the party that he's been I dance for since he left Black Radio. And he's going to run it as an independent. Now, just purely politics, Christopher he's going to run as an independent because, A, he knows that the Republican Party label is mud in the Black community. He can't get away with putting up, fathead, nondescript posters like Jeff Pastor and just put Pastor on there and no mention that he's a Republican. And that was before, all this MAGA crap really, jumped off. So that's the reason why he's going to run as an independent. But that hurts him among Republicans because they're saying, hey, we put all our faith and value behind you. We dance right along with you and play the Ebony and Ivory song, and you don't want to accept the label of being a Republican? That might hurt him. I don't know what percentage of that vote he's going to lose, but he's going to lose a percentage of that vote because right now the Republican Party and MAGA, they want a blood oath. I'm talking like Tom Sawyer. Either you with us or you are against us. And you could tell that by dropping his dumbass call. That's how far they've gone down that road of no return, in my opinion. So I think he might have some problems there. Stephanie Dumas, she was elected without being endorsed. So it's not like she doesn't have the people behind her now. She's made some mistakes, the last, 3 or 4 years. I think she's working on her second, who's a person in charge of your campaign manager? Who's it? Bishop Bobby Hilton now. Before it was the doctor that claimed that Todd Partoon tried to sexually harass him sitting in a wheelchair. Remember that guy?
What now? I think I missed the sexual harass part. That sounds new to me. What?
Yeah, I can't think of his name. I think
you talking about Dr. Paul Sohi?
Yeah, he accused Todd Platoon of sexual harassment.
Oh, is that what he did?
Yeah.
Huh.
And remember, you don't remember that? We're like, how the hell was Todd
I don't
Platoon
remember
gonna
the sexual
harass me?
harassment part. No.
Yeah. So and he's in a wheelchair. I don't know how you do that, but get your finger game up. I don't know. But the point is that, those type of goofy things were happening. And I was saying it really, that's not a good look for you. And then when Alicia Reese bust on the scene, like I told you months ago, hell, I didn't even know who the president of the Hamilton County Commissioners were. I thought it was Alicia Reese. She's the most upfront person out there. She's the one telling everybody, hey, this is where the PPE money is. This is where you can get your vaccinations. This is where you can get so-and-so. None of that ever came out, quite honestly, until Alicia Reese bust on the scene. Now, I might be wrong, and there are Stephanie Dumas, supporters out there. It's like, no, she was doing this, but I don't remember. And I try to pay attention to a lot of things. Maybe more so than others, which makes me a little weird. But, again, I try to pay attention to it. Just like Doug Evans. Now, I've heard the story, and people keep bringing up his name. Nate, did he change like the name of the company, and now they're trying to do business with the city again, or is that what's out there in the atmosphere that he's trying to double dip again with the city?
I do not know if Doug Evans is getting contracts from the city right now. I do not know that. I do know that they created a whole new
believe me,
business
they'll try
to do their fraud with, and that got shut down.
Right. No, believe me, they'll try because he was getting millions of dollars from the city.
Yeah.
Millions, and hopefully, I think Sarah is right. Hopefully, this new council, they can, put a stop to this, or bring, a spotlight to it. And like I put in my comment, Nate, they're doing it on good standing. Again, what Republicans would do, what Betsy Sunderman would do. If Doug Evans was a black-owned company, she would elicit a vote to say the city will no longer do business with Doug Evans because, he has, criminal activities in the past. And then she would make everybody say, vote for this. Just like she tried to do when she tried to get the new city council candidates and David Mann and AFTAB to show up at her support the police. We will not defund the police rally. Remember she did that in front of City Hall? I think like 5 people showed up and like one council guy.
It wasn't a success from what I gather.
But these are the things that Republicans or the conservatives, the West Side conservative types, this is what they would do. So I would advise the new city council to whatever, vote you can bring up, say the city will not do business with Doug Evans or any subsidiary of Doug Evans or any other, Doug Evans might have more profile names in the damn alt middle right now. He might come up as like Bay Caruth Doug Evans or something. Some old stupid shit. So yeah, put these people, put them on tape, put them on record. The they voted for or against, and let's see who comes out and supports the Doug Evans of the world. I would be surprised if Joe Dieters didn't come out and have something sympathetic to say, and then they bring out Smitherman and the black guy that was the head of the fake company for Doug Evans to say that he's become a victim, and we don't need to deal with the no snitch culture BS that he used to throw out there. Oh, and by the way, I actually heard Smitherman sing along with Cunningham to Ebony and Ivory. Oh yeah, sing along with it. It was like the Smothers Brothers from Living Color. So yeah, this guy, Willie, I'm your brother and all that crap. And I'm like, come on, dude. He's like the bald-headed drop of city council. That's what we call him, the drop of city council. He might be the drop of the county commissioners. So I can't wait. Does Black Russia go in anymore? Or, since the alt middle has been disbanded over, female issues, they no longer talk to,
I don't know
what?
He doesn't call in as much, man. I think him breaking up with the alt middle has had an impact on his willingness to jump inside with us, which is unfortunate. But
well, we know this. It's over a woman. Is it a Karen or is it a Tamika? I mean, we need to know all these things.
I think
we want all the dates.
I think it's over a Tamika. So, I'm just gonna leave it alone because I got some more information.
The alt middle not that strong, Nate. They lit the Punani, breaking up their crew. I mean, how strong can it be? I mean, you got your East Coast affiliate, Flo Brady up there. The Tito of the alt middle. Then you got Drop, the Tito of the alt middle. Then you got Drop over on the West Coast. He's like the LaToya Jackson. He's like Randy Jackson. And then you got Black Iowa. and change your pace, dog. Same. I mean, and a word from Bob Barker: spay and neuter all pets. I said it. But I mean, really, man, I just can't believe after all these years, the alt middle was strong. They used to call in, talk about how you scared of the alt middle and all this stuff. Now they broke up over a woman. I mean, what in the entire hell is going on? I know when I remember back in the day when my dogs got heat, they put a diaper on the female dog. Is that what they got to do to the alt middle? Put a cone over their head so they don't scratch their ears and shit like that? Is that what we doing now? Hey, Nate, I got to get back to work, man. I'm out. Petty
Thank
Peace.
you for the call. That's the host of the Politically Petty podcast at Petty Peace. That's it. You're a very petty man. You're a very petty man. Over Bessie Sunderman's big thighs. Usually, the moment you speak on Smitherman, Black Russia, aka Lapdog, come running to the rescue. What you say? What you say? We having some fun, man. If you can't have fun, then what's the purpose of all of this? You gotta have fun. That's it. Enjoy your life. I'm not against anybody. I'm for everybody. I'm not against anybody. I'm for everybody. Right? Who knows? Maybe Smitherman gets on council. Maybe he brings some good energy. I would hope so. I mean, we're just done with the bickering and the partisan and the finger pointing and the text messages and who said what about this person and this thing and that thing. I mean, I'm just over it. I'm just over it. But let's go back to the phone, shall we? Let's go back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, what was that about? Hello?
What was what about?
You and Glenn up here just talking about the alt middle and all this and that and whatnot. You still scared of the alt middle, but you know, you up here, there you go again. They broke up over a woman and he's saying all this and that. Like, and he went back to that threatening my genitalia. So literally, y'all talking about they broke up over a woman, he's threatening my genitalia. Literally, the last 2 minutes of that call, y'all was on my literally.
Is that what you heard?
That's what I heard. Did he not threaten my junk again?
No, he didn't.
Oh, he did. Oh, okay. Okay.
You're just being overly sensitive as usual. That's all.
No, that's what he said. You know, he threatened my junk, and then you talking all this and that. You know, I'm like, okay, here we go again with the nonsense.
All what in this? All this? What you mean? I'm talking all this and that. I'm speaking facts.
You know about the alt middle. I just bruh, let it go. Let it go. You should have been like, you ain't in the alt middle, so we're not going to discuss that with you.
I said what I said the way I wanted to say it. Period.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, so now you done had a heaping bowl of courage for breakfast?
No. Same courage
Talking
level.
crazy to the alt middle like that. You can still get radio jump. It's nothing.
It wouldn't be the first time, and I survive every time, so it'd be okay. It's not that bad. It sounds worse than what it really is.
Since we talking about people this morning, I want to talk about somebody.
Go right
the
ahead.
guy who called in yesterday talking about me.
He didn't talk about
I'm reading the comments. Yes, he did. He just didn't say my name. See, how you don't even know who I'm talking about?
Because you obsessed with black people, and I know you talk about Brian Taylor. What you mean? You obsessed with this man?
Yeah, I'm talking about Brian Taylor. He's a complete, unabridged, unadulterated, unconscionable asshole. He knows he got those people killed because of what he says when he's protesting, all this aggression that he likes to talk about.
Can you
that
prove
he talked
that?
about yesterday.
Can you
that
prove
he
it?
talked about yesterday. That he talked about yesterday.
So that's a no. You have no proof. Okay.
Oh, yesterday he called in talking about some you know, I know some people don't like what I say about protesting and whatnot, but it's what we have to do. You know, things like that. You got them people's blood is on your hands, Brian.
Do you have any proof of that?
Yeah. I've heard him over the years.
No.
I've heard him over the years, always talking about running up on people, you know, the Black Lives Matter thing. Yes. I I don't have the exact tape of the day, but yes, he said that on here before.
It's not
He
about
always
whether he
says-
said it on here. Do you have proof that Kyle Rittenhouse or anybody associated to what happened in Kenosha heard Brian Taylor say that on this show? That's what I'm saying. Do you have any proof?
I can't ask a dead guy.
So you don't have any proof?
Okay, no.
Okay.
But I don't have proof, but I know he said it. He always says dumb shit. He compared black people to pit bulls.
No, he didn't.
Oh, okay. There you go with that. I don't know why you blocking to do what is it? Is he a sponsor? Is he a sponsor? Is he off limits? You're blocking for it.
No, I'm not. I'm just keeping it real with
Yes, you are. Come on. No, he didn't say that. He specifically compared black people to pit bulls.
No, he didn't. That's just what you heard. Nobody else heard
okay.
it that way.
Okay. Well,
on, man. You know you're
yesterday,
special.
yesterday, TNT told me to go to hell.
Right. Because you was talking shit about
And you said, hold on, let me finish, B. And you said it while I was on the phone with you. It didn't register. And then when I got off the phone and was listening to the playback of the show, I read her comment while Brian was on the phone. And I thought it was apropos. Because on the low, I've been thinking, dude is the devil anyway.
Dude is the devil now.
Yes. Yes, he's the devil. He's the devil incarnate. You need to get rid of him. Everything he does. Homosexual man leads to AIDS.
What
Leads people.
What are you talking about?
He leads people. Can I finish? He leads people to their death.
That's the real. I don't know. Should you finish?
He
I'm
leads
thinking
people.
not.
His rhetoric led people to being shot.
There's no proof of that. That's a stretch.
His rhetoric, the principles of his style of protesting, of being aggressive, going in people's face, running up on them, talking all that stuff he's talking about, destroying
Have you ever
buildings.
seen Brian Taylor during a protest before?
No.
Oh.
I petition the court. That's how I protest. I don't go down the street singing limericks.
So you never seen him. You're talking about what you think he's done, but you never seen him actually do it. Okay, just want to make sure you put that out there.
I don't want to see dude in life.
I don't know what I'm talking about. I get
listen,
it. I get it. But
I don't
want to
see.
Anyway.
I don't want to see dude in life because the stuff he likes to do, sex with men would lead to AIDS.
What are you talking
getting
about
people
this man's sexuality for?
Getting people shot. There's one common thing between them that unites those two things. Bad blood. And that's what he likes to toil in. That guy is the devil. He's here to cause disruption. He's here to cause disruption, dysfunction, and he's not here for any good purposes.
Can I offer you?
And you're blocking for him.
Can I offer you a suggestion?
When I get off the phone, I'll listen.
I mean, as your
if
brother,
you don't mind.
now I want you to be on the phone because I want to get
because if you're gonna block for cuz, I don't want to hear it.
It's not about him. It's about you. I've got a suggestion for you.
Okay, go ahead. Let's hear this.
Okay.
This ought to be rich.
I mean, I say this as your brother, as your big brother. You know what I'm saying? But it sounds like you switched up your routine a little bit this morning. You've done something different. Okay. Because the things you're saying this morning are crazy. So
okay, if it's crazy, it's crazy. But I don't like dude.
This morning, Fame, don't ever do that again. Whatever you ate
I don't
this morning,
like him.
Whatever you smoked.
He tried to be coy yesterday.
You drank
he tried to be coy.
Don't ever do that again. Because
he tried to be coy. He tried to be coy and diss me on the slide.
I'm just telling you.
He tried to be coy and diss me on the slide yesterday.
You'll never be able to say that I didn't try to help you. I tried. Now, whether you want to listen or not, that's up to you.
I appreciate the sentiment.
Thank you. It comes from a good place.
However, that guy's an asshole. He's the devil, and you need to ban him. He's here to cause disruption. Nothing he does is productive.
Though.
He's never caused two people to get. He caused two people to get killed. His rhetoric caused two people to get killed. That's why he called and addressed it yesterday.
You're gonna hold on to that, huh?
Yes, because he called and addressed it. And speaking of Kyle Rittenhouse, I don't have a problem with him telling LeBron F you. LeBron, F off. I just beat 2 bodies. I'm sticking with my chest out. I don't care. You know, I mean, that's like my team. We're playing basketball at the famed Friars. My team's on an 8-0 run, and you dunk on me to stop the run. Hey, Nathan, we're still up 10-2. Scoreboard, a.k.a. F you. You see what I'm saying?
I do know what
That's
you're
all
saying.
he's doing. That's all that is with Kyle Rittenhouse. He's basically saying scoreboard. So
I know
that's
exactly
all.
how you feel. I know exactly how you feel.
That's
Anything
all.
else, brother?
That's all I got for today.
That's all
It's
I
been
got.
real. I had fun.
Me too.
Brian Taylor, bruh, knock it off. No more illusions to me. No more none of that stuff. I don't rock with you.
I noticed the pivot to Brian when I hold you accountable, but okay, brother. Have a great day.
He's the devil.
Anything else? Okay, he's the devil. Yeah, whatever you did this morning, bro, don't ever do it again. Whatever you switch your routine up, you try some new vitamins, got you some new multivitamins, which can be exciting. I understand, but don't ever do that again. Drop rice rack 'em. Who did Brian Taylor get killed? Nobody. Brian didn't get anybody killed. That's Fame's crazy theory about what happened with Kyle Rittenhouse. So Fame's theory is because Brian Taylor has been active, that somehow that's what led to Kyle Rittenhouse killing 2 people. I know it don't make any sense. I get it. I get it, but So Brian is getting people killed and Kyle Rittenhouse is playing basketball. It doesn't make any sense, but Fame does that because as what you can tell is that he really, really, really don't want to talk about the fact that a woman broke up the alt middle. It's so obvious. He's so transparent. But so every time I bring it up, he's got a couple tactics that he uses. And one of them is the Brian Taylor tactic. You think we don't know, bro? I'm going to read you all the way. I'm going to read the book of Fame, which is right after the book of Leviticus. And so that's part of his tactics, you know what I'm saying, to deflect. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Nathan.
Hey, Mace.
Are you supposed to say something when I'm speaking?
I think Drop said I was supposed to.
Oh, tell Drop I get high off people, and I've been doing it for 30 years. And without him, he still wouldn't be missed because he's only been here for 5. That's what I think about him. And then this Kyle Witten, this guy and he was worried about LeBron. I guess he's going along with Rittenhouse, what he was telling LeBron to do. Why are they trying to make a big deal with LeBron? He ain't do nothing to nobody. Don't they just leave the man alone, let him go and do what he's doing? And tell Drop he's not important, but when he get in my maze, he got a long way to go before he can get out because I run him crazy. So with that, he's not important. And y'all would be doing fine having a conversation without him because after he hung up, you still had a conversation. That's what you would be doing every day without him calling in before he ever showed up. That's what I think. I'm just trying to tell him a light man and a short man is a third thing to waste, and he's wasting his to be 60 years old. Have a good one.
Thank you for the call, Maze. Appreciate it. There you go, Drop. You got what you wanted. When you get in her maze, you ain't getting out. I see what you posted, Drop. I don't know what that means. Oh my gosh. I'm still processing all these phone calls this morning because people are just driving me nuts, man. Oh my God. From Drop to Fame is like the distance from here to the sun and back. Deborah writes, Rittenhouse went hunting and got away with murder. F that kid. Right. That's exactly what he did. He took his gun. He was looking for trouble. He found the trouble, then said, ooh, self-defense. That's all it was. That's it. Nakia writes, put him in timeout. The get out tea is strong in this one. Get dripped a can of white paint. The media is against Biden-Harris. Whatever happened to Trump's healthcare plan? Why didn't COVID disappear Easter of 2019 like Trump said it would? That's from Deshaun. These are all inconvenient questions for somebody like Drop Deshaun. He doesn't want to answer those questions. And he hates it when I say, well, you didn't say anything about your president, and that really was your president. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. We get it. Quit playing with Miss Mays, fool. That's right. Stop playing with her. That woman means business. Y'all hilarious. What's up, Crystal? Mike Rice, designated black friend. Drop has left the building. Yeah, he hung up on me yesterday. So I didn't realize at the time. I thought he hung up because he was frustrated, and I think he did. But he hung up because he wanted to get the upper hand. He said that's the only weapon that a caller has when they call into a show. And you're right. I mean, that's really an option. I don't know if it's like a tool or anything, but it's definitely an option. But I didn't think anything of it, Drop. I mean, if you want to end the conversation, you can end the conversation whenever you want to. I literally didn't think anything else of it until just then when you called in this morning. And Drop's over here, he got this whole thing like, I got Nathan. I got you. I hung up on you, fool. Start asking me questions and talking when I'm talking. I'll show you, click. And I had forgotten about it, man, quite honestly, but you got me, bro. That's what you need to hear. You got me. Ron P. writes, more rich people benefited from COVID relief. Big scams going on with that COVID relief. He probably likes it when his white girlfriend calls him, huh? Kamika writes, Evans probably got out because of COVID. Early release for low-level federal offenders was a component of the CARES Act. Kamika is on point this morning. On point. Love it. Intelligent black people. Ebony writes, probably not. They make it up as they go all the time. Sean writes, Drop acting like he has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. What a joke. Let me see. Ebony writes, damn, he shot a man in a wheelchair. They're going to say he feared for his lives. He was in a vehicle. That's probably exactly what they're going to say. I haven't seen the body cam footage. This came from Tucson, but I can see like right before the shooting, you're shooting somebody. They've got a knife though. They've got a knife, but you're in a wheelchair. So, I mean, unless you can get up and walk around, I'm not really that afraid of you. I'm not going to come close. But let me talk about this, man. There was a really big moment within the last, I'd say, 36 hours that surrounds Nick Cannon. And no, ladies, I'm not talking about his peen pick that everybody was talking about. I have no desire to talk about that whatsoever. But I did see that Nick Cannon announced that his youngest child died from brain cancer. Y'all see this? Oh, OMG, it was so emotional. Oh, that shit was so emotional. I can't even play it for you right now. Because I'm a father, man. When you're a father and you see another father, a parent in pain, oh, it just pulls on you. It just pulls on you. But, you know, he does a show called The Nick Cannon Show, which seems to be growing in momentum, and he's getting a lot of traction with it. And he announced at the end of his show that his son died from a brain tumor at 4 months old. Y'all see this? Oh my God, it's just so emotional. So emotional, yo. Yep. His son, 5 months old, his name was Zen, Z-E-N, passed away from a tumor. And then Nick Cannon talked about holding his son for his last minutes and things like that. It was very emotional. Oh, so emotional. Mm-hmm. So emotional. I got an image for you right here. This is as much as I can show you because of copyright protections. But here's an image right here of Nick Cannon on the Nick Cannon Show. He bounced back from what he said about the Jewish folks. He bounced back like a G, and I knew he would. All that talk was all that talk. He's making too much money for Viacom with Wilding Out, so they're not gonna let him go for too long. He's like, you know what? Plus, he had a rabbi on, and he admitted he was ignorant and all this other kind of stuff. So, hold on one second. Let me find this for you real quick. This is the image from his show when he talked about this. It was so emotional. Oh, man, you feel for Nick Cannon right here, don't you? 5-year-old son died from brain cancer most recently, and he was in his feelings. He was in his feelings, and of course, he had every right to be. I would be in my feelings. Any father would be in their feelings. So, I just want to send some thoughts and prayers and positive vibe to Nick Cannon, and really to all the folks on God's earth that might be dealing with some struggles, family or whatnot. I want to send you some positive vibes in this moment. And there it is. Vibes sent. Just got a notification on my watch that my vibes have been sent to Nick Cannon. He received them. Oh, he just opened up the package. Okay. The attachment. He received it. My job is done. I've done what I came to do. Yeah, that's really, really sad. That's really, really sad about Nick Cannon, man. Tanika writes, Nick sold out for the almighty dollar. Greg writes, I saw the news about Nick Cannon. That is hard. This is heartbreaking. I can't imagine the anguish Nick must be going through now. Right. Gladys writes, so sad for Nick. Carmelita writes, the loss of a child is unimaginable. Absolutely. I don't even want to think too much about it, man. I got a little 6-year-old. That little boy is everything to me. Everything. He is such a big part of my life. Carmelita writes, there are plenty of Evans dump trucks all over Cincinnati. Yeah, I'm gonna watch that and follow that case, because why should he ever he should never get a contract from the city, the county, or the state. I mean, you basically committed fraud. You were defrauding the city, defrauding the taxpayers. He should never get a contract with the city ever again. Now, if you're doing business, business to business with other folks, that's different. Good morning to you. Lemmy writes, good morning. Greg writes, good morning. I'm going back just a little bit here. Let me catch up now. Deborah writes, lost a baby 16 years ago. And life has never been the same since. Oh, I'm so not happy to hear that, Deborah. Somebody writes, I won't watch the video, too emotional. It's very emotional. I watched it and it was emotional. Did I tear up? I might have teared up. I can't remember. I think I did tear up, quite honestly. Politically Petty Podcast Show writes, Drop actually thought he won by hanging up. Yeah, how you win by hanging up? But okay. I mean, whatever you got to do. JC Young is in the house. What's up, JC? He writes, caught the video from the end of that episode. You could feel his anguish. I can't believe he got through the show. Yeah, you could definitely feel his anguish. I mean, it's his son, his little boy, his child. Pat writes, good morning. Hey, good to see you, Pat. TNT writes, there's a pick. Damn, TNT. Yeah, there's a pick. There's a pick and an imprint, and ladies do what ladies do. I won't be showing it here, but do you? Daryl writes, I saw that body cam footage. Man shot that man from behind. You shot a man in a wheelchair in the back. A lot of fear. There's a lot of fear going on out here. Charles writes, hanging up mid conversation is some straight Mitch itch. Don't tell that to drop. Deshaun Brown is due in court today. It has been 1 year since he killed Nitisha Lattimore and threw her 3-year-old son into the Ohio River alive. Is that right, Crystal? Is that right? Damn, they never found that boy. Damn, that's sad. I saw the images of her and her son. They didn't deserve that. That young woman did not deserve that. It's so tough out here for women, man, to find suitable dudes. I got a lot of female friends, and I hear the stories. And it's sad, man. That little boy, that woman, they didn't deserve that. And then they still haven't recovered the body of this young boy. Remember that? Damn, that's sad. Makes me sad. Tierra writes, TNT, search for it on Twitter. It's everywhere. Damn, Tierra. TNT writes, OMG. He said OMG to that, huh? Okay. Oh, man. Are we really having this conversation right now? I love that name, Zen. Sad about his loss. Absolutely. Tanika writes, I understand Nick's pain. I remember holding my daughter as she took her breath. You never get over the loss of a child. Oh, my God. Y'all killing me with this, man. Y'all trying to make me tear up on the air here. No. TNT, what is that OMG for? Is that for the Nick Cannon picture? That was OMG. Doesn't Nick have an illness himself? He said he was trying to have as many kids as possible. I don't know. I don't know the answer to these things. What I do know is that our friends over at Renew Community Church, they got a brand new live stream series that kicks off. Well, they've been doing it for a while, and they've got different topics. This Sunday, positive thinking and affirmations don't work unless learn what really works to make you happy and joyful and have fun in 2022. Now, Sunday at 11:45 a.m. You can also tap in on Facebook at Cincy Renew and on YouTube at Renew Community Church live stream. You can tap in. Tap in. Let's get it. Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. Again, that's this Sunday at 11:45 a.m. Tap in. If you're on Facebook, if you could tap, that's a great thing about these live streams is you can pretty much, you don't have to stay if you don't want to stay. You know, you could tap in, see what it's all about, make a decision, tap out or stay. Oh, it's about the case with the baby in the river? Yeah, right. That is so sad. Nick has lupus, huh? Okay. He's got lupus. All right. I get it. People are saying he has lupus. I think that will take you for your word. He's got lupus then. It is what it is. So a couple things that I want to share with you before we roll out of here. And one is that the medical scientists, the medical authorities, like the people who our culture in this country has given to give us information and to be responsible and reliable sources of information about COVID, what they're saying at this point is that Omicron is very contagious, but it may not be as deadly as the Delta variant, right? So we're all on the Omicron. So I had a friend who was like, oh, I got to get my booster. And I'm like, well, you might want to wait just to see if the booster will be effective to the new variant or not, you know, rather than just going to get a new booster every time they offer it. That's just some thoughts. You know, you make your decision. I know there's still a debate out here about whether you should vaccine or not vaccine. And at this point, people have made their decisions. Like if you haven't gotten vaccinated at this point, unless something drastic happens, and I'm talking about like, you know, war of the worlds, you know, extinction level type of catastrophe event level, then people are going to do what they've been doing. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that if you're not convinced to get the vaccine at this point, unless things take a dramatic turn for the worse in the streets, I don't think people are going to get vaccinated. That's just me. I could be wrong about that, but that's what I think about it. But you got to make that decision, man. It'd be scaring the hell out of you. And on some levels, it almost make you feel like they start reporting about Omicron as a way to push people to get the vaccine. They'll start talking about Omicron. Now you're like, oh, new booster. And pump the brakes on that. Like I am vaccinated, but that was a personal decision for me and mine. I'll say it again. As it relates to anything related to the vaccine, I give you the facts so you make your own decision up. You know, I'm not trying to vaccine shame anybody because it's just such a big and personal decision. It's such a big and personal decision that you got to do that for yourself. You know, right now they're talking about vaccinating children, kids. Everybody in the family going to be vaccinated. Okay. Is that necessary? I mean, I know families, whole families where they've never gotten vaccinated. These are black folks. Nobody in the house has gotten vaccinated. Everybody seems to be healthy. They just eating a lot of fruits and bread and vegetables and berries and shit and smoothies and shit. And they're trying to limit their contact with as many people as possible. But everybody seems to be healthy. No vaccine. I know other families where everybody's been vaccinated. So we shall see. Vax your kids, vax your wife, and vax your husbands because COVID is killing everybody out here. Greg writes, Pfizer says their booster is effective against the new variant. Yes, I know Pfizer. Damn, I just lost I know Pfizer sells itself. Its stock has gone way up since COVID, since last year. They said, I got my booster shot. Okay. Wasn't everybody in the family vaccinated before COVID? I mean, mostly everyone. You're right. On some levels, yeah. On some level, because your kids got to get vaccinated, certain vaccines before they go to schools. Carmelita writes, New York, I think is 5 and up, must be vaccinated. Really? Must be? Must be? TC writes, good morning, Choppers. Good morning to you, TC. Good to see you. Good to see everybody. Hold on one second here. There's one or two more things that I want to bring to your attention before we roll up out of here. All right. There's so many stories about Karens. I might wait on that and save it for later on in the week, actually. Like a Friday, humans worse than COVID sort of week snapshot type of thing. But something went down in Tennessee. We'll probably get to that another day. A Karen falsely reporting that a black man did something, but we'll get to that later, though. Vax your ass up. Vax that ass up, huh? Okay, I remember that. Kamikia writes, Ohio State rep from Westchester is trying to eliminate the requirement for all vaccines for school-aged children. In your words, humans worse than COVID. HWTC, humans worse than COVID. Yesterday, what's up, Sister V? Yesterday, news broke about a child vaccinated at school in exchange for pizza. Man, they doing all kind of stuff. They're doing all kind of things in order to get people to get vaccinated. And we'll see again. I don't know if any of that's going to work. Do it if you feel like you want to do it. If you don't, then don't. Simple as that. Why is it that people don't talk about the vaccinated people that died? I think they do talk about them. I think they do talk about the vaccinated people that died. I mean, we've talked about it here. Who was the baseball great black dude? About a month after he got vaccinated, he died. So we do talk about it. It is reported. I believe so. All right, let me jump inside the chop shop one last time. I see Sharp Rice. Good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Ray Rice, Driehaus is a moderate Republican. Is she? You think that Denise Driehaus is a moderate Republican? I don't think so. Why do you say that, Ray? She writes, how do they know he was alive if he hasn't found him? Joseph Dieters put that one out there. You're right. They don't know if the boy isn't alive definitively, but they've got clues that, and maybe even a confession from the man saying that he dumped the boy's body in the river. I thought that did he confess in jail? Nikki writes, Hank Aaron. I think it was Hank Aaron, right? I think he confessed in jail. What a terrible situation there. Killed the mother and it appears through the boy in the river. Just terrible, man. I remember I could see the images of both of them that was out there in the media. Just a terrible situation right there. Listen, folks, thank you for being here. I really appreciate you. I'll be back and hopefully better than ever tomorrow morning, and we'll chop it up on everything related to people, politics, and pleasure. I want to remind you that starting on Sunday, that our friends over at Renew Community Church have a live stream series. Here's the title: Positive Thinking and Affirmations Don't Work Unless. Learn what really works to make you happy and joyful and have fun in 2022. I like all those things: happy, joyful, and fun. I like all of that for my 2022. You can tap in on Facebook at Cincy Renew, CINCI Renew. And you can tap in on YouTube at Renew Community Church live stream. The discussion is going to be led by Charlie Winburn. Tap in, check it out, and then hit me with a direct message and let me know what you think. Let me know. And with that, my friends, have an excellent rest of your day. I will be back with you tomorrow morning. Be safe out here in the snow. All right, take care of yourselves. Keep that winner's mentality. Remember, focus on winning, nothing else but winning. And we'll talk real soon. I'm Nathan Ivey, and I'm out.